Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The Academy Awards happening next Sunday night, a year after the slap heard around the world. Will Smith rushing the stage 51 weeks ago, slapping Chris Rock in the face while he was presenting an award after Rock made a comment about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Last night, after almost a year, Chris Rock finally responded during a comedy special live on Netflix.
Yeah, joining us now to discuss is entertainment lawyer Rich Nichols, and here in studio with us is author of The Four-Word Answer and host of the Naughty But Nice podcast on iHeartRadio, Rob Shooter. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Rich, I'll start with you. Chris Rock has been silent about the incident for pretty much almost a year, but he definitely had a lot to say in his comedy special, which was live. What do you make of what he said and how he said it?
Well, I think Chris should have taken his parents' advice. At the end of the show, when he threw his mic down, he said, my parents told me that we shouldn't fight in front of white folks. And he's right. And the reason why our parents told us that was because they didn't want us to perpetuate the myth and validate the theory that black boys and black men are just angry and aggressive and violent. So he should have taken that advice. And in fact, both Chris Rock and Will Smith should have taken that advice. And the day, from a crisis management perspective, the day after the Oscars, they should have had a public press conference and kissed and made up, at least publicly. But if privately they still had their beef, they could have their beef privately.
Yeah.
But just
I like that. I just think Chris Rock, boy, he's made a ton of money.
You better believe it.
He dragged this baby out almost a year, and I think he's cleaning up for it right now. Rob, what was your reaction to the special last night? Did Chris Mark, did it hit the mark? Does this move the needle?
Yeah, I think it did. It was really dramatic. He didn't hold anything back here. He's been offered lots and lots of money to tell his story. He's been offered every television interview you can imagine, including Oprah, and he was smart enough to say no. I'm going to do it on my terms.
Right.
I'm going to make the money from this. I'm going to tell my own story on my own stage, and that's what he did last night. And I'm assuming, we haven't got the numbers yet, but I'm assuming they're going to be phenomenal. It was the first time Netflix has ever done a live show like this.
I don't know how they measure Netflix.
Like,
I don't know how
they're very
that,
suspicious about it, but when they do well, they let us know. So I'll get a press release today. If it did well, I think it probably did.
Do you think that Will Smith will react? We haven't heard anything yet. I know it's very early.
Yeah. I reached out to my sources this morning, late last night, to figure out what was going on. They told me that Will and Jada will see this. It's everywhere, too. It's all over the press. So even if they don't watch the entire hour-and-a-half show, there's so much publicity about this, they will see the highlights. I don't think they will respond. I think Will and Jada probably want this now to go away.
Right, and the Oscars are coming up Sunday night. Rich, the Oscars will apparently have what they're calling, and this is the Oscars, by the way, they're going to have a crisis response team in place right next to the stage this year, just in case anybody else decides to go up on stage and slap a presenter. What do you make of that? And do you think these people literally will be visible to the naked eye when the camera pans across the audience, because they do that throughout the show? What's your response to that?
Well, I would say that they've probably always had security behind the scenes near the stage to deal with that kind of situation. They just didn't expect it to happen between Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Right.
Everybody was stunned. And it's unfortunate because that whole incident has just really harmed the black actor community. And the fact that Chris Rock stretched this out, monetized it to the tune of about $20 million for his own benefit, is probably not sitting well with black actors in Hollywood who have a hard time getting work because of this kind of situation. Last year, the Oscars were black director, a lot of black folks winning awards, and Chris Rock being the host. And then for this to happen, it really is a travesty. And I think these guys really need to come out publicly and kiss and make up so that black actors in Hollywood, the black community, is not impacted negatively because of it.
Yeah, Rich, I like your approach. I think that's what they should have done in the first place last year. Rob, I do want to pivot now to the royals. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been invited to King Charles' coronation. What do you make of this? Is this, you think, an olive branch? And are they going to go? Are they going to accept?
This is in May, right?
Yeah.
That's right. So May 6th, the
Okay.
invites have gone out. They went out over the weekend, and insiders are saying that Harry and Meghan were invited along with their children. The royal family wants them there. Like, how often in your life does your dad become officially the king?
Right.
Not that often. It's a big celebration.
Typically once.
They would like them there. So it's a good PR move to have them there. I predict that Harry will go and Meghan won't. If you remember, he went to his grandfather's funeral alone. And a little bit of breaking news too. We've read that they've been kicked out of Frogmore Cottage. My insiders are telling me they've been offered a new apartment inside Buckingham Palace.
A decent place?
A very nice place.
Galley kitchen, little kitchenette, 500 square feet. All right, so Chris Rock last night during the special brought up Meghan and Harry. Rich, and I thought this was fascinating. So basically the theme of this, and Chris Rock has been doing this now for 30 years, and he's been right on the pulse of what's happening culturally. Last night it was victimhood, and he said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, Meghan, you're not a victim, referring to Meghan Markle. Most of the stuff that you went through wasn't racism, it was in-law stuff, although he didn't use the word stuff. Your reaction to that?
Well, you know, he's right on both fronts. First of all, she shouldn't have been surprised that she would have a negative reception by the British crown. You know, Chris was right. The Brits were the original colonists, so she shouldn't have been surprised. And the fact that there's some in-law issues with interracial marriage issues and babies, that's true too. You know, it's just a fact. So he wasn't wrong on either one of those counts. The problem is that she probably shouldn't have made it public, and she should have just dealt with it as a in-law family issue. Again, privately resolve those issues, and then publicly doing what she married into, which was being deferential to the crown.
Yeah, keep that family drama quiet, right? That always seems to be.
Did you guys see the Budweiser comment?
It was very funny. He said that figuring out that the royal family was racist is like marrying a Budweiser and figuring out the family drinks.
Boy, they're
pretty
drinking.
funny. He's very funny. I mean,
love
it's
their
really
beers, yeah.
out there, but it's really sort of, I think, funny stuff. And what makes it funny is it's all based on a little bit of truth.
Right.
All right, Rich Nichols and Rob Shooter, thank you so much. Appreciate it.